It was August this year when I realised that for 3 months I'd been staring at the empty space where the bed had been. You see, in May this year, my now ex-husband left and he took the bed with him. I should point out at this point, I hadn't been sleeping on the floor for 3 months. Don't worry, I'd been camping in the spare room while my bedroom was redecorated, because you do that when you get divorced, apparently. But I'd got to the point of thinking, I'm tired of this empty space. I need a new bed. But where do I go? Where do I go to buy a new bed? Do I go to John Lewis, never knowingly undersold and probably quite expensive? Do I go cheap and cheerful flat pack with IKEA? Both companies with very good reputations. But I decided that I actually wanted to buy a bed from a company that spoke to me somehow. You see, buying a bed is actually a very emotional decision, especially when it's the bed that your ex-husband took away that you bought together. So it's very emotional. So I really wanted a company that spoke to me. And actually, if you think about it, buying anything big, like a big product, like a bed or a car or a house, or even a service, is very emotional. So I was very lucky. I was introduced to a clicker that didn't want to work. And some high-speed chickens. Well, we'll go old school. We'll see if this works. I was introduced to a company called Get Laid Beds. Well, I'm recently divorced, here's hoping. No, stop it. Look, the logo is a chicken. And for those of you who don't know, I have a flock of chickens. In fact, there they are. Those are my chickens in front of the van that delivered my new bed. How cool is that? So the fact that they were called Get Laid kind of got my attention. And so I thought, okay, yeah, this is good. They've been absolutely amazing. And I love my bed. It's fabulous. But it was a very emotional decision to which bed to buy and where to go. And it got me thinking about speakers and how when you're selling your services to clients, to audiences, you really need to connect with them on an emotional level. And if you don't, then your message is going to either fall flat or go straight over their heads. So if you think about it, your reputation as a speaker is based on how you make your audiences feel. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. Your reputation is based on how you make your audiences feel. So sometimes we rush out and we're trying to sell something without the emotional connection. When you can get the emotional connection, it's much easier to build the reputation that you need. So what I'm working on at the moment is looking at ways of combining emotions and helping speakers to use emotions to build reputations. And I have come up with something fabulous called Emotional Reputation Strategies. And there are 6 of them. And what I'm going to do this afternoon is talk you through the 6, tell you a bit about what each one is about, and give you some examples, because I found some big brands that use them quite nicely, and some small companies as well. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm then going to split you up into about 4 groups, roughly. So Duncan said to me earlier, you're not a proper trainer if you don't rearrange the furniture in the room. So we're going to rearrange the furniture. You can take the chairs off and work together and think about what your emotional reputation strategy is for your business and what sort of emotions you spark in your audiences. Because you can't make an audience feel, you can't make them feel anything, but it's about the emotions that spark in the audience. So I'm going to give you about half an hour to do that, and then we'll come back and you can throw questions at me and go, I don't understand, or pick my brains, and we'll explore. How does that sound? Sound all right? Yeah. Cool. Let's get started. So, of the first of the 6 is certainty. So, if certainty is your emotional reputation strategy, you are known as a safe pair of hands. Little chick being held in safe pair of hands. You'll notice a bit of a theme with the pictures this afternoon. So, a safe pair of hands as a speaker, it's about turning up on time. It's about knowing where you're going. It's about when the organizer phones you on the morning of and says, is everything okay? You guess, yeah. You go, yes, absolutely fine. Thank you very much, and thank you for calling. It's about delivering what you say you're going to deliver. I've actually been to events where I booked to go and see a particular speaker, and they've been on stage and they've spoken about something they haven't been billed to speak about. That's really frustrating. And actually, for the person who booked them, it's quite embarrassing. So if certainty is your reputation strategy, your job is to make the booker look good. So the booker will be sitting at the side of the stage going, oh, thank goodness, John is delivering exactly what he said he was going to deliver. Because the boss of the booker goes, yeah, great day, thanks, Bob, that was brilliant. So certainty is about delivering on what you say you're going to deliver, and probably over-delivering as well. My business, for me, so I run a marketing company, and I used to think that people came to work with my fun, exciting, dynamic marketing agency because they wanted to grow their businesses and they were excited about marketing and they were really keen to learn about social media, and it's absolute rubbish. That's not what they wanted at all. Most of my clients, an awful lot of them are women in their 60s. They are petrified of social media. They don't want to know about the newfangled stuff. In fact, I was on a call, a mentoring call with a client this morning, and she said, okay, I know I need to do more on LinkedIn. Just tell me the 3 things you want me to do this month. And I did. I said, do this, this, and this. And I shared my screen and I showed her what to do, and she wrote it all down, and she was happy. So I realized by asking my clients what they actually wanted from my business and what they were buying from me wasn't huge growth of business, and it wasn't exciting new ideas about social media. They were saying, we just want you to tell us what to do. We don't want you to say, so Joe, what do you think you should do in your marketing? It's like, just do this. So that's an example of certainty. That's how I use certainty in my business. Make sense? I'm not saying you have to go around holding chicks, but it helps. It helps, yeah, because they're quite cute. So the second of the 6 is connection. Now, connection is a really interesting one because a lot of people get this wrong, and it's probably because I don't explain it properly, but let's give it a go. So connection is when somebody will book you as a speaker or work with you because you can connect them to the people they need to know. So a lot of people say to me, oh yeah, I have a really good connection with my clients. That's not what it's about. It's about you being able to connect them to other people. So you might be giving a talk about teamwork or employee engagement. And in that case, it's about helping people to engage and connect more with their company. If you've got teams who aren't working together very well, your job could be about getting them to connect more to each other. But it's also about introducing them to people beyond, or getting them to look beyond where they currently are. Michael?
Are you saying we each should have multiple of these for ourselves, or we're going to have a main one for ourselves as we go through these? I'm trying to figure out.
Very good question. Thank you for asking, because what I should have said at the start is that most businesses will have one main emotional reputation strategy for their business. Now, it does depend on how many products and services you're working with. I have a couple of clients who have 2 very different sides to their business. And I might use some examples later on, but generally there will be one. I ran a workshop on this a while ago for a group of coaches, and I talked through all 6, and one of the coaches said, oh yeah, I've got 5. These strategies are about making you stand out and be different. I said, you can't have 5, Harry. That just doesn't work. And we actually worked out that we got it down to 1 or 2. But that's why I'm going to give you time later on to go off and sort of work in groups and figure out what you think yours are. And I'll be floating around in between, so you can always ask me. So my favourite example of connection is actually a little company that I work with called the PSA, the Professional Speaking Association. You might have heard of them. So we've been looking at the marketing that hasn't been done for quite some time in the PSA because of all sorts of shenanigans going on with COVID and what have you. Now, we used to think that people came to the PSA, well, you might have seen the strapline that we've still got, speak more, speak better. So a lot of time people come along to the PSA going, oh, I want to network. You're a networking organisation, aren't you? And we kind of go, well, are we? We're not really sure. And some people come along saying, oh, if I join the PSA, I'm going to get speaking gigs. Well, not necessarily. We don't guarantee it. If I come to the PSA, I'm going to grow my business. Well, yeah, possibly. What we've worked out, though, is that connection is the real reason that people buy into the PSA. You come to these events to connect with your fellow speakers. You come to events to learn from the people up here. Even the showcasers brave people who'll be showcasing later. We learn from listening to you and watching you. So it's about connecting with other like-minded, mad people who run their own businesses. Anyone here know Pam Burrows? Small, dynamo, fabulous lady, love her to bits. She posted on the Facebook group a little while ago saying, I joined the PSA to get more gigs, to learn, etc., etc. She said, I stay for the people. And that, for me, completely epitomises what the PSA is about and what connection is about. So the PSA is my favourite example at the moment, particularly of a company I'm working with. Any other networking organisation that you might know, if they're using connection to promote their business, they're doing it properly. And if they're not using connection, then they probably ought to be. So that's connection. Number 3, contribution. I had 7 eggs this morning from my hens. I have 9. These aren't mine. I stole this photo. I am going to take some photos of mine. I have 9 hens, ranging in age from nearly 4 down to about 2. They're a very scraggy, fabulous bunch. They chase me. They follow me around. I kind of trained them. And when I had 7 eggs this morning, which is amazing from 9 slightly ropey chickens. They're all ex-army. No, they're all ex-battery hens and caged birds.
I'm ex-army.
You're ex-army, yes. Don't lay eggs, Steve. So they made me a fabulous contribution of 7 eggs, and some of them were eaten at lunchtime. In fact, one of them had a double yolk. So anyway, I digress. Contribution is about helping your clients to be involved in something bigger than just them. So it's about encouraging your clients to think beyond just, I want to make lots of money, or I want to be the best coach or speaker or trainer that I possibly can be. It's about, if you've got a client who says, I really want to make a difference, then it could well be that contribution is your emotional reputation strategy. It's about getting them to think beyond just their little bubble, which may mean working with teams and giving motivational talks to get them more inspired to actually give back more to their organisation. That's quite a nice example, actually. If there are companies who are saying, the teams, the staff, they're not really engaged, they're not very productive, it could be that they need to be more inspired to be contributing more to the organisation. And quite often it's the organisation that needs to be putting more into the people as well, to be looking at what they can contribute to the people. Who's my favourite example? Oh, yes. Anyone heard of Riverford Organics? Oh, hands straight up. I know you do. I love Riverford. So Riverford Organics was set up in somewhere back in the 1980s, actually. They've been around for a long time. Started by farming family down in Devon, growing organic vegetables. They're spreading out all around the country. And in November last year, I signed up with them. And I now have a box of super scrummy, fresh, crunchy, organic vegetables delivered to my greenhouse every Friday morning. Lovely chap drives into the drive, avoiding the chickens, leaves the box in the greenhouse if I'm not there. It's fabulously fresh vegetables. The carrots are so fresh that from last week, I haven't eaten them all yet. They're still covered in mud. And that's fine. They say leave the mud on, it keeps them fresh. They're just sitting on the side in the kitchen. So I get some really nice vegetables every week. And buying Riverford Veg allows me to make a bigger contribution, because since I've been buying from them, all of their packaging has gone recyclable. Even the plastic bags you can now put onto the compost heap. So I do. They have cardboard boxes which you return to them every week, and they use them until they fall apart. They have, everything comes in little punnets, which next year I'm going to be growing seeds in my little cardboard punnets or chucking them on the compost heap. They are looking into more renewable energy sources. They're looking at making their vans all electric. So they're doing an awful lot to be much greener. So me buying from them, yes, I get great veg, but I'm also making a bigger contribution through buying from them rather than going to Sainsbury's and putting up with their hideous packaging that you get in supermarkets. So that's my favourite example of contribution. What's next? Growth. Oh. Growth is a fun one. If growth is your emotional reputation strategy, people will book you to work with them and to speak because you can either help them grow personally, or you can help their businesses to grow, or a bit of both. And sometimes it's about working on personal growth to allow the business growth to happen. Those of us who run our own businesses, we know that things like burnout are not good, are they? Because when I'm frazzled and tired, then my business is going to suffer. So if you work with individuals who run their own businesses, quite often you'll be needing to work on their personal growth. Or speakers who are lacking in confidence. Believe it or not, quite a long time ago, before I joined the PSA and before I joined Toastmasters, there is no way on earth you'd have got me up here. I was hiding out there at the back of the room at networking events going, no. The first Toastmasters event I went to, I refused to do anything. I went with a friend and I made him swear that I could just sit at the back of the room and do nothing. I know it's hard to believe now, it's hard. But I've grown. I've learned how to do this, and turns out I'm a bit of a show-off and I rather enjoy doing it. So, you've got me all afternoon. So it's about personal growth, it's about business growth. So you might be speaking to audiences of individuals or companies talking about their health and well-being. That's a good sort of element of growth. It might be about business growth, sales, marketing, all of that lovely stuff. I've recently started, sorry, Dave, yeah.
Yeah, so on the growth one,
yeah.
How do you get through that thing? I think anyone who's in the sales and marketing type offering, you're probably thinking people are speaking to you because they want to grow their business, like you did with yours, and actually you realise it's certainty. How did you come to get past that block almost? Because you would imagine, as I said, everyone wants to grow their business, and that's what you're doing.
Okay, so the really high-tech way of finding out your emotional reputation strategy, ask them. Ask your clients. So what had happened with my business is I was working with a business coach at the time who was pushing me for really big business growth, which meant I had to keep taking on staff, which meant I ended up spending more time looking after the staff than doing the client work. And for those of you who know me, I'm not very sympathetic. So when my young staff came in going, I've got a hangover, I'd be like, I don't care, I'm paying you to work. And I realised something wasn't right. So I realised that my staff were taking me off in that direction. So I started saying to the clients, what is it you actually want from us? So yeah, you just got to ask them.
Do the clients always know that? Because sometimes they think they're working with you to grow their business, but actually it's the certainty piece.
The nice thing about that is the clients, it's a really interesting one because they do want to grow their businesses. But if you say to any of my clients, what do you really like about Chantal, working with Chantal? They'll say things like, oh, she's really straight talking. No messing around. She just tells you like it is and she bosses you around. That's my reputation. And that has come from what my clients want from me. I think I have always been quite bossy. I'm good at organising things. So that has come. I'll come to you in a moment, Steve. Hang on a second. So yeah, you've got to dig. And it's not about sending out a survey with lots of questions for them to answer. It's about getting on the phone, taking them out for lunch, having coffee. You can do it on Zoom, but it's having a conversation. Steve?
It's just a phrase I got a long time ago that clients never tell you the truth at first. And it's not that they're deliberately lying, it's they don't know how to articulate what the root cause is. And that's where good coaching, questions and persistence brings it out. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Come to you in a moment, Jazz. So years ago I did a survey and we sent out email questions, but we then got on the phone to follow up, and that's where the really juicy stuff came out, because I'd noticed that somebody had said this. I'm like, can I ask you more about that? So yeah, and they say what they think you want them to say, and when you can really get them to open up, they go, no, actually that's not true at all. We want this. So, yeah. Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a chicken or egg type question.
This man gets the first chicken pun prize. Well done.
So my question is, rather than asking clients, which of these 7 emotional strategies do you want, whether it's better to define what do you naturally feel you are able to contribute, and then just choose those clients. I offer contribution or offer growth, and then obviously exclude as a filter those who want what you are naturally not offering.
Yes. No. Yes. Okay. It's a really interesting one, because this these strategies have been developed from 6 basic human needs. So my main human need is significance. I need to be loved. Significance, shush Duncan, significance is one of these strategies, but it's not actually about what we need, it's about what our clients need. So I think a lot of it depends on if you're brand new in business and you don't have any clients at all, then you can decide which of these strategies you're going to work with. And when you start being that strategy, the clients who want that will come and find you. When you've been in business for a while, the best thing to do is to ask your clients what they want. And so that's when I found out that my clients they want certainty. They don't want growth and fancy shenanigans and multicolored chickens. Does that answer the question?
I'm not sure, because you're saying it's not what we need. No, I was saying it's what am I naturally good at. Am I good at delivering growth or contribution or connection? And then, naturally I'll attract those people who want that.
Yeah. So I'm naturally good at certainty. It's what I do. I'm ridiculously straight talking.
What do you want if you're naturally good at certainty?
Because I didn't realise that's what they actually wanted. Because it's very easy in business to go, okay, I'm good at this, but actually what I want to do is that. I thought that in a competitive market, I needed to be like leading edge and knowing all about the funky social media. There are companies that will do that, but actually that's not me. So my clients help me realise what I'm good at, and that's what I now stick to. So if clients come along now and go, oh, we want funky social media, I go, no, that's not me. Go somewhere else.
Gotcha.
John?
I'm guessing it's sort of an iterative process. So you make your best guess at what your contribution is. So yours might have been funky social media. Then you attracted some clients because you're naturally attractive.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was distracted by the boots.
So the first question Duncan asked me this morning when he phoned said, is everything all right for this afternoon? What boots are you wearing? Speak reputation. Carry on.
The question you asked them. So did you ask them, did you say to them, because I'm guessing it's the second question, did you say to them, what do you want from me? Or why do you like working with me? And I'm guessing you said the second one.
Hmm.
And then you got the answer because you told us what to do, and you went,
Yeah.
Oh, that's certainty.
Yeah.
Rather than them saying,
Yeah.
We want you to give us certainty.
Yeah. So there are 2 questions. There's the what do you want from me, and what do you get from me? And the what do you want is the more important question, because what my clients were getting was funky social media and me not concentrating on them. What they wanted was certainty. And it is an iterative process, yeah, absolutely. Well, you lot are in a really good position now because you know about this stuff. Not many people do. Nobody before the PSA has ever even heard of emotional reputation strategies. I only coined the phrase about 3 months ago. It's very new. So you're now in a really good position. Not yet. Might work on that. So you're in a really good position now to be using these strategies to grow your business, which will help you to stand out from the huge array of other speakers out there. Can I move on now? So, growth. How are we doing? Let's move on. I'll give you a very quick example for growth because I've just started working with a really fabulous company called Emotional Geography. They run far too many courses. They had a catalogue of 150 courses. They'd had a lot of trainers come and go, oh yeah, we want to be with you. And they put together this catalogue that was like 300 pages of a PDF file. It was horrible. And all the different trainers had just chucked in a page and put in some weird pictures and gone, yeah, this is what it's all about. They weren't selling any of the courses. So I did some work with them, and they were almost promoting themselves on the 6th strategy, which is variety, because we can do everything. Well, your clients don't want everything. What they've realized through working with me is that their reputation strategy is growth. So they have ditched 100 of their courses. They're down to 50. I think they need to reduce it even more. They now only provide courses that make somebody's life better. That's the phrase they've come up with. If the course doesn't make somebody's life better, we ain't running it. And I spoke to Ali on Monday, and she said, we haven't filled any courses in the last couple of weeks, and we're not bothered because we're still promoting the wrong courses. So they're still whittling down, and they're actually rewriting all of the descriptions for the courses so that they talk about growth. And most of them are about personal growth, but the courses didn't say that. So that's my little example. Significance. Strutting your stuff. Isn't he fab? He's fabulous. I had so much fun finding these pictures. So if your emotional reputation strategy is significance, you will be helping people to stand up and speak out and have a bigger impact on the world, on their business, on the planet. Career coaches is quite a good example. I worked with a career coach years ago, and his job was all about helping his clients to get the next promotion, to get them up the next rung of the ladder. But it can also be sales and marketing. If you're speaking to, if you're speaking to clients about how to grow their business, which is not growth, but it's about having more significance, about standing out. Ooh, yes, absolutely. Gorgeous outfit down here. Mrs. Image Consultant. It's about helping people to have the confidence to be on stage wearing what they ought to be wearing in their favourite colours. Yeah? There we go. I've just sorted yours. You're fine. Example of significance. Have we? Oh, we have. Look, we've got one here. We've got an apple. So I think, I'm with you, Tony, don't worry. Personally, I think that Apple promote their products on significance because of the way their products make you feel. There's nothing really different from the last iPhone to the next one. But if you're an iPhone person, go on, admit it. Who are they? Who iPhones? Yes.
Proud.
Yeah, there, look. Is that
Slightly smug.
that is, and that's it. That's it. Proud and smug. Now you see that, I think. Steady, down boy.
I don't like to mention it.
So, but that's a perfect example because I think people buy Apple products because they feel it makes you feel better. It makes you feel proud to be kind of part of the Apple army or whatever it is. Orchard. Yeah.
Really?
I have a Microsoft Surface and it's fab and I love it. Microsoft, I think, promote themselves actually on certainty. It does what it says on the tin sort of thing. It's going to work. It's not flash and funky, but that for me is the difference. Do you see between significance, how the products make you feel, and the fact that people will queue up overnight to buy the latest thing, even though they don't necessarily need it, compared to somebody like Microsoft. So that's significance. Variety. I couldn't get this picture with my chickens because mine are all brown. There is no variety in my chickens at all. Well, there is. I can tell the difference between all of them, and they all have names. No, they don't. Actually, yesterday there were brown eggs over here, and there was a white egg on the other side of the hen house. It was really weird. I don't know. I don't watch. Anyway, stop it. Variety. So, if variety is your emotional reputation strategy, people will buy from you because you have an amazing array of tools and techniques. You have a toolbox that is absolutely crammed with all sorts of different techniques and bits and pieces that you can pull out, a bit like John pulling rabbits out of hats and magicians. And that's why they buy from you. It's completely the opposite to certainty. They may even book you to just go and deliver something. We don't mind what it is. I was doing a mentoring call with a client yesterday and he said, oh yeah, my big client, they've just asked me to run 6 workshops next year. I said, great, what are they about? He said, they don't mind. Just do stuff. He's a coach, he's a former Olympic swimmer. So, but his reputation strategy isn't variety, but that might be why some people would book him because they think, oh, all sorts. Variety is a really challenging one because trying to promote a huge array, I mean, this is, so my client, Emotional Geography, that's what they were trying to promote on. Oh, we've got 150 courses, isn't that great? Well, no, because when you're trying to promote that many courses, you're actually promoting it to the entire planet, and that's quite expensive marketing. My favourite example of variety is Amazon. In the last couple of months, what have I bought on Amazon? I didn't buy the bed from Amazon. I bought a ridiculous array of things. I've had to buy lots of tools because he took the tools. I buy, one of the kittens I have has an infection on her nose. So,
The kitten came from Amazon.
No, the kitten didn't come from Amazon. The cream to put on the kitten's nose came from Amazon. So what I love about Amazon is you can think of pretty much anything other than kittens, I think, and you can buy it through Amazon. And that's how they promote themselves, the fact that you can buy anything. Dave?
But would you not?
Rewind.
But I suppose they started off selling uncertainty though, because they sold books.
Yes.
And you knew that was the best place to get a book. So
Yes,
is there something to do with as
absolutely.
your brand develops, you can change the.
Yeah, I think you can. And it's about listening to what your clients want. So if they'd have gone, we only do books, we only do books, we only do books, they wouldn't have still been around. But probably somebody said, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you sold bookmarks as well? Or, somebody somewhere said, actually, what about? Or they listened to the market and went, hang on, we could be adding to all of this.
Is that not just diversification, Chantal, as we grow as businesses?
It is, but Amazon still promote the fact that you can buy anything from them. They have an advantage in that they have a global brand. Everybody knows about Amazon. If you or I or any of us try to promote 1,000,001 different speaking topics to the planet, it's very, very expensive.
For sure. Can you give us kind of a soundbite of what you mean by variety? Because I've got the example of Amazon, but I don't really have a soundbite of what it is.
Okay, and then I'll come to Steve.
Yeah, I was just suggesting to that.
Oh, okay, go on.
In many ways, people as entrepreneurs like variety. They like to try new things. Not necessarily all, but some actually go for that particularly. So that could be an explanation. Some entrepreneurs don't want to have just one thing, but they jump from one thing.
Yeah, I actually think that's a really bad thing to do, because I think people should actually, when you get known for what you speak about, that's what you should speak about. So actually, I would pretty much advise anyone not to do variety as a speaking reputation. You don't want somebody who doesn't actually know what you speak about.
Okay, but can you give us an example of when it is good for a small business owner, considering?
No, I don't. No, that's interesting. Yeah. So I've never come across a small business for whom variety is their reputation strategy. Still haven't found one.
Corner shop could work.
Corner shop could work, yes. Yeah, if they are selling a really big variety of products, yeah, that could work. Yeah. Yes. But it would still work, because I'm thinking, so if I run out of flour or eggs, or lemons, I know that I can go to the shop in my village and I can get something close to a lemon or some flour, that one could work.
These new businesses in London, still on groceries, I don't know if you've heard of this, but the 10-minute grocery delivery services that are popping up in big cities.
Yeah.
They don't have a complete range like a big supermarket. But as you say, they'll have one brand of olive oil. You'll get it in 10 minutes. And they can offer it.
Yeah, no, that could be one.
And that is a combination of certainty and variety. But
it is almost, because I know that I'm certain that I can go to Amazon and buy what I need to buy.
Prime is certainty that will come the next day, isn't it?
Yeah, but I go to Amazon because of the variety. So I bought a pair of walking boots on Amazon recently, and I knew the brand I wanted, but I knew that I could go there and see lots of different people selling them without me actually having to get off my sofa. So, Jazz?
I was thinking that you could brand as a speaker on variety. You could become the world's first speaker who never advertises what he's going to be talking about, except when you go there, you'll be entertained, you'll be moved, you'll be inspired, you'll be memorable, joyful, and that's the world's first.
Yeah.
What are you going to talk about? Let's see.
Yeah. So I've just heard the word comedian down here. Yeah. So I'm thinking comedians.
What is it?
Which one?
Is my question. Which one is it? So you're after a speaker or your entertainer. Which one of these is your emotional point? That you are making people feel good. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, I would like you to split into 4 groups. I was going to do it by chairs, but that leaves 3. We've got 5. Actually, yeah, if you just go off in your rows, feel free to move the furniture. Go and spend half an hour or so talking amongst the rest of you in the group to think about what your emotional reputation strategy is. I'd like to close by bringing you back to my bed. Not literally. What are you lot like? Get Laid Beds, remember them? I think that their marketing is based on certainty. I don't think they know this yet. I need to talk to them about it. They have developed a really slick website where you can go and decide, you can go and choose from a massive multitude of different shapes, styles, colours of beds. But it's really, really easy to go and order a bed.
Did you get laid?
That's none of your business, Rick. Shush. You will get laid. I'm embarrassed now. Stop it. Divorced, leave me alone, stop it. I've lost my train of thought. So I think they promote themselves on certainty because there is certainty of I go to the website, I order the bed, it gets delivered. They add to this by doing things like they actually sent me an email on a Friday afternoon saying, we're really sorry, there's a problem with making the frame of your bed. And it was 6 o'clock when I saw this and I thought, well, I'm going to phone them. A real person answered the telephone and went, hello, Get Laid Beds, how can I help? And I'm like, hang on, it's 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. She said, oh yeah, we're here till 8 o'clock. They sorted the problem. They delivered it on the day they said they were going to. There was another problem with the frame and the two fabulous guys who were delivering said, we've got a bit of a problem, but we think we've got a workaround. Can we show you what? They just got on and did it. So I think they promote themselves on certainty. When you can figure out what your emotional reputation strategy is, you can use it in all of your marketing. You can develop the reputation that you need that connects you with the emotions of your audience. And it means that your audience and your clients become your raving fans. They do your marketing for you. And Get Laid Beds have done this beautifully because they have a monthly photo competition. If you take a funky photo of your bed, stop it, Tony, and you send it to them, they put it on Facebook. And then you tell all your friends about your photo because the best photo wins a prize. Here's Posy on my bed. She hasn't yet been submitted because actually they don't like the photo because you can't see the frame of the bed. So I've got to retake it. This is how brilliantly trained my chickens are. That is actually one of my chickens on the bed. It was quite a lot of. She's been laid. The bed has been laid. Ha ha.
I've been waiting to say that. Hi. Sorry, that was you were being really nice with chicken and egg, and I had just cock. My head cock. Terrible. Sorry, I feel better. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Every now and then, when you're on stage, the only thing you can do is take a quick sip of water.
That's okay.
I knew this talk was going to get me in trouble. Yeah, I know. If you haven't yet figured out what your ERS is and you want to have a chat, let me know. I am doing a shed load of research at the moment. I will start writing the book in January. The book will be published by the end of next year. So if you have any questions, please do get in touch. And on that note, I think I'm done. Thank you.